the thing with this chapter, and I said it a couple times in the past, most of the stuff you walk around, yeah, that makes no sense when I'm talking up here. Like, give it a couple of days, you start forgetting it. But everything's so interconnected, there's lots of little pieces for you to remember. So last day, we talked about, hey, how do you create a graph without doing the table? And if some of you guys remember that technique and you did that on the quiz, that's fine, right? So we did it based on properties. To graph, we need a set of points, right? We can get those points from the property. First property we plot is the y-intercept. So on this equation, what is the y-intercept?
6.
6. So on the y, this is the y-intercept, not the x, we put it here. So now we just need a couple more points to graph. We get that information from the slope. All right. So before you do that, you gotta be able to look at the slope and tell me, does it point up to the right or down? Up or down?
Down.
Down. It's a quiet please. A negative slope, so it's gonna be pointing down. This is our rise and run. So we have a drop of 3. 1, 2, 3 over 2. Drop of 3 over 2. And we have our line. Connect the lines. There you go.
Oh, and you might change that?
Oh, yeah.
You're a piece of wood.
There we go.
It barely clipped that second one.
Yeah.
Okay. So now go to the other sheet. We'll do a couple more. So that is pretty straightforward. Now, the way an equation is given to you, sometimes students get a little flustered, right? They're like, this seems like maybe some of the information is missing. So if I give you this, right? Our first point is at 1. Yeah. Now, we read the slope. Unfortunately, the slope doesn't have 2 numbers. A slope is supposed to have a rise and a run. You guys want to focus, or do we separate you guys? Are you writing? Are you participating?
I am.
Really? Where's your pencil?
I dropped it.
Right? That's why I'm just calling you out, what I'm seeing here.
Is it just over
It's
over
written
one?
in place.
Gavin, you're on your way out here, bud. I don't need this.
My pencil.
Okay, so here,
You just put it over one.
yeah. So we don't have a fraction, but remember, all of these things are fractions. It's just an invisible 1. So our rise is 3, our run is 1. So to find our point, we go up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 1. Up 3, over 1. 1, 2, 3, over 1. Now, sometimes when we do this, we can be near the corner of the graph. You can also go the other direction. You know which way the line's pointing. So you can go down 3 and to the left 1, right? 1, 2, 3, over 1. Down 1, 2, 3, over 1. Right? Don't get stuck always having to go to the right. You can go the other direction as well. Just be aware which angle is the line pointing at. You get a few points, you graph it. Okay. Next up. Y is equal to x plus 3. Okay? So where do we start? We start at 3. Our y-intercept. There is a, yeah, so what happens is people don't see that there's a number here. There is an imaginary 1, technically a 1 over 1. So a rise 1, run 1. So up 1 over 1. up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Right? So the way the information is presented sometimes can be tricky. All right? Connect the dots, draw your line. So when you're drawing your line, you're extending it beyond your points, not just the points you drew. The points you drew are only a little portion of the line, which you use to help create the line. Okay. So what if I say negative x plus 2? Actually, no. How about we say just negative x? Let's get rid of the plus 2. So first of all, our first point we draw is our y-intercept. What is our y-intercept here? 0. We don't have one. By the way, what is this spot on the graph called? Starts with the O. Origin. Right? So the graph goes to the origin. Now, what is our slope? What is that?
Down to the right.
Yeah. So that is a negative 1 over 1. So we're going down to the right. Down 1 over 1. Right? So the way this works, as long as we have a single point, doesn't matter where it is on the line, from the slope, we can find more points. Because it just follows that pattern. So once you draw in a few points, just connect the dots. All right. Okay. That's it. So you got a half an hour left.
Wait, that's it?
Most